Well. We've got a spicy update in the Bud Light saga. Remember Bud Light? Remember that? Remember when they got woke? Remember when they decided, hey, we should be more political. Our viewers want, our consumers want us to be more political, so we're going to hire perhaps the most divisive person at the time, Dylan Mulvaney, to promote our product because our hardworking Rust Belt Midwestern Americans definitely want that for ourselves, for their company, because that's what they want when they're drinking their beers. They want politics injected in them. Well, of course, the boycott that followed and the eventual destruction of the brand's credibility happened. But now there's been another update, a ripple effect. We saw, to summarize, several vice presidents of marketing at Bud Light quietly get fired. Alyssa Heinerscheid, who did that interview and called their customers fratty and all this other stuff. And her boss were totally fired. Now, they said they weren't fired, but this is what happens when companies get political. That's literally why I called my coffee company Coffee Brand Coffee. We have three delicious fall flavors out right now in Spiked Jack-o'-lantern, pumpkin pie, which is ridiculously good, and butterscotch toffee. We also launched a pre-sale event for our strawberries and cream flavor, now being available in K-Cup, as well as a multi-pack, which includes 2 medium roast, 2 dark roast, a blueberry cobbler, and a strawberries and cream. Perfect for just keeping your house stocked up so you've got something for everybody, or your office or waiting rooms. And there's a promo code that you can save on these pre-orders, but also make sure you take some time and get those fall flavors too. The pre-order will be shipping like early next week. It's really not that far ahead. Garth Brooks takes next step in woke war over Bud Light. It's a divided world, and Brooks has always been welcoming to everyone, believing that music and maybe beer or a glass of whiskey can bring everyone together. Well, Garth Brooks is woke. You know, a lot of people forget this, that most mainstream musicians are woke, including in country. A lot of people are like surprised to find that out about country music, but it's true. I mean, look at Lady Antebellum renaming to Lady A because it was an offensive name. Or you have the Dixie Chicks, or you have Garth Brooks. You know, all these people are happy to spread the message. But they're not. People think that country musicians are like conservatives or Republicans. They're not. That stand normally does not put Brooks at odds with much of country music community. That changed in April when Kid Rock called out Anheuser-Busch. Obviously, we know many country music stars, including Travis Tritt, John Rich, took to public stance against Anheuser-Busch, dropping its beers from their tour riders and bars. That kicked off a wave of transphobic posts on social media in response to pretty much anything Bud Light posted. I mean, Bud Light still really can't post. Like, they really can't tweet anything without getting just ruthlessly ratioed. Brooks, however, immediately took a different approach when he talked about how he wanted to handle the Bud Light scandal at his upcoming Friends in Low Places bar and honky tonk in Nashville. And yes, we're going to serve every brand of beer. We just are. It's not our decision to make. Our thing is, if you are let into this house, love one another. If you're an a-hole, there are plenty of other places on Lower Broadway, he said. So, of course, he puts, unlike most boycotts, the effort to punish Bud Light for its partnership with Mulvaney has actually worked. The beer has seen its sales drop by more than 25% for an extended period of time, despite bars owned by aggrieved performers not being great about actually banning the beer. Kid Rock has not only been spotted drinking Bud Light, but his Nashville bar never actually stopped serving it. Still, hypocrisy aside, the damage to the brand has been real. Well, that's because real people out there actually follow through. Companies, corporations, and musicians, they generally don't. Right? Like, and I think that's the truth. But here, an even more hilarious update. This early today reports ad firm tied to Bud Light's Dylan Mulvaney fiasco fires top executives in new shakeup. A California marketing firm linked to Bud Light's disastrous tie-up with influencer Dylan Mulvaney has fired several top executives as part of a major restructuring, the Post has learned. San Mateo-based Captivate canned 13 staffers in July after top brass returned from a lavish junket to the French Riviera, the Post reported, axed 30 employees, roughly 20% of its workforce, in the latest round of layoffs. Multiple sources have told the Post. So this company that connected Bud Light with Dylan Mulvaney in the first place is collapsing. It's not clear whether Captivate's shakeup, which happened September 28th, was a direct result of the Mulvaney fiasco, which led to Bud Light losing its 2-decade status as the nation's top-selling beer. I'm guessing that the Dylan Mulvaney contributed, one laid-off executive told the Post. They weren't laying people off before this. So they had the April 1st thing, and since then, they've fired 43 people. 43 people since this. 43 people since the connection, the marriage between these two brands that was such a disaster. I'm pretty sure that it's directly related. Bud Light parent company Anheuser-Busch blamed a third-party marketer for sending the influencer a can of Bud Light featuring an image of Mulvaney, which she touted to her millions of social media followers on April 1st. While Anheuser-Busch never named the firm, insiders told the Post that it was Captivate that introduced the beer giant to Mulvaney. Captivate CEO Krishna Subramanian, who has never publicly addressed the Mulvaney controversy, told surviving staffers on a company-wide Zoom call that the layoffs were, quote, necessary because the company's undergoing a reorganization. There were several department heads who lost their jobs, one source said. This is truly the dominoes falling. It really is. Like, this is so wild that, we're just seeing a ripple effect that far surpasses anything probably anyone could have imagined. Like, it's just very odd to me that, or it's not very, it's very exciting for me to see, really actual people, real actual people decided, hey, I'm not going to buy this beer. And even if people like Kid Rock just did it for PR, or all those bikini girls did it for PR, real people out there did make the change. Real people actually stopped buying the beer. And we're seeing all of these people lose their jobs. I mean, several people at Bud Light got fired. I still believe the CEO should be fired. The company that just made the connection has fired 43 people since that day. All of us have watched Captivate spend a lot of money on parties, one fired worker told the Post, adding that lavish spending has been consistent with this company. Captivate declined to comment on the recent round of layoffs. The CEO did not respond to an email for comment. The company had fired 5% of its staff in July, days after attending an ad industry's Oscar-like annual Cannes Lions International Festival of Creativity. Captivate had chartered a private jet filled with swag to fly the company's honchos, clients, and influencers to the south of France. I mean, this is also modern tech culture, pissing away all this money. When times are good, all of these things probably happening as business write-offs. One of the things most people don't understand about write-offs, even companies that do this kind of stuff. I have a friend, his company is lousy with like incredibly long-reaching write-offs for like RVs and $250,000 trucks and all this stuff that are, getting bought under the company, but like, you still have to pay for that. Right? So this Captivate company still has to pay for these lavish trips. They still have to pay for all this crap. And, these companies forget that they have to actually make money at some point. You see here, of course, Captivate. The company said the trip was, quote, paid for in a tandem with our brand partners and clients, having no impact on the company's overall bottom line. I don't believe that. He was a guest at the White House for the holidays last December. I mean, all these companies are basically the same, isn't it? They're all the same. They're all connected to the same people. They all know the same people. They have a database of 1 million influencers, but they're all doing the exact same thing.
The message
is all they care about. That's all they push for. And, ultimately it's blown up in their face, and I couldn't be happier. Make sure you check out. I'm just happy that all this stuff's falling apart. That's what happens when you get woke. You go broke. Make sure you check out coffeebrandcoffee.com. Our fall flavors are the strawberries and cream and multi-pack pre-orders for your K-Cup machine. I'd absolutely love to earn your business today. I promise I'll never get political. The company doesn't care who you vote for. We just want to provide you the best coffee, tea, and cocoa we possibly can.